The APOTHICON Sun. Revelations.
Okay, let's recap a bit, shall we? This was meant to be a new start, really. A perfect world. Free from all the evil that had corrupted each and every corner of the known and unknown universe. It was going to be a place of safety for the kids, the little yous. You little... Well, so far, so good. But things started to go wrong soon after you arrived. Now, I can understand your initial shock coming face to face with Max's, especially after so long. But you did the right thing. You followed the plan. You brought the summoning key here, and you destroyed that bloody machine once and for all. Thing is, Max's went and ballsed everything up.
Please, you must help me.
He heard voices, you see, calling to him.
Only together can we prevent the destruction of your world.
It wasn't really his fault. You know, he hasn't actually got his soul yet. All I got was a brain. Anyway, the key thing, as in the thing that is key, is that Max's fiddled around with the summoning thingamajig and accidentally released an even bigger bastard. Someone even I didn't know was in there. The Shadowman. The one and only original Harbinger of Doom. So, I'm going to be absolutely truthful with you. Things have got way too far out of control. This isn't any vague woo-hoo evil. We're talking about the APOTHICONs. The most powerful and evil entities in all the existences that ever existed. And now they're here, in our perfect world. I'm not going to sugarcoat things. It's a fucking shit show.
The APOTHICONs consumed life energy and excreted element 115. After their consumption of a great many realms, the APOTHICONs accumulated such an incredible amount of element 115 that it coalesced into a great blue APOTHICON sun residing in the ether. The Shadowman ripped the realms apart, and he ripped the perfect world outside of the 63rd universe into the ether orbiting the APOTHICON sun. In the process, pieces of other realms, notably from previous zombie battles, were coalesced into the remains of the other worlds. Sections of Nashdarantoan, v.III., Shinonuma, and Shangri-la were ripped from the Alpha realm. Sections of Excavation Site 64 were ripped from the Beta realm. Sections of Alcatraz Island were ripped from Purgatory. Sections of Kino der Toten and der Eisendrache were ripped from the New Realm. Sections of the house, countryside, forest, and the stars in the sky were ripped from the Perfect World. Many things from other times and places also were present. Before fighting the Battle of Revelations, the heroes were introspective about what the significance of their journeys and their past truly meant.
It is said that it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. I feel differently. Regret can consume a man so deeply that it will blacken his heart and swallow his soul. For so long we have been fighting. many battles, many wars. I lost only one. We have seen impossible things, cheated death countless times. I can no longer deny the possibility of an unseen power, a guiding hand, helping us to fulfill our destiny. My path is chosen, our fate is sealed. But the innocent, the children, those untainted by darkness and chaos, they can find a better tomorrow.
My name is Edward Richtofen, and I have been trying so very hard to do the right thing. Long ago, I made a promise, a vow, to protect him. In order to keep my word, I have done bad things. Very bad things. I do not regret the pain that I have caused, because none of it really matters. This moment, this me. All of it will soon be gone. I have lied. I have cheated. I have deceived. All for a purpose you could never understand. I would not change a single thing. He thinks I do not know, but I do. The blood will protect me.
Time. Can be a cruel mistress. In its relentless march forward, it robs each of us of many things. Moments, experiences, people. Time can take them all from us in an instant. Such things are gone forever, unless they live on within our hearts, our minds, our memories. For all its cruelty, time can also be a great teacher. Through the changes left behind in its wake, we can learn, we can grow, we can come to understand those truths that have eluded us in the past. Only then can we truly understand ourselves.
Field report. Final entry. Well, this is it. The end game. I know what I have to do. Richtofen's barely holding it together. I've got to believe he can go the extra mile. None of us really know how this is going to play out. But we all know it's the only way forward. We can only hope that our souls may find a better future. This is it. The ether. The infinite. The reality beyond. Beyond the world you know. Beyond your perception. Things are going to get a lot worse before they get better. You change the rules. There are certain things that you can't ever change. All I ask is that you do the right thing. The right thing for everyone.
In the Battle of Revelations, the heroes fought against many types of enemies, including various types of zombies, panzer soldats, spiders, corrupted keepers, margwas, red margwas, purple margwas, red parasites, furies, and other types of APOTHICONs. Meanwhile, Monty and the Shadowman were battling for control in an unobservable higher dimension. Monty also sheltered the children. Throughout the debris, there were 4 corruption engines. Whenever they were activated, they functioned as turrets while enemies attacked the heroes. They activated the one in front of the house, the one in Der Eisendrache, the one in Alcatraz, and the one in Verrückt. They found the defense system in Nachderentoen fully powered, and they fired it upon a giant APOTHICON that passed by. The electricity pinned the APOTHICON to the side of Nachderentoen, and they entered the mouth of the APOTHICON. Even inside the APOTHICON, enemies kept attacking the heroes. The heroes shot down some of the organs inside the APOTHICON, revealing a pack-a-punch from a stomach-like organ.
In retrospect, it probably wasn't the best idea to leave the most powerful artifact in this or any other dimension just lying on the fucking table. But in all fairness, Maxis was a bit of a wild card. I mean, you remember he was actually just a little drone the last time you saw him. Anyway, he's in the summoning key now. Buggered if I know how we're going to get him out.
Your sins serve only as an invitation. An invitation to an evil beyond your imagination. I will lead the way. I will show you the path. Only through me, the Shadowman, will you find your redemption.
Something else I should probably clarify. This is it. The ether. The infinite. Otherwise known as Agartha. Or is it Agartha? Well, whatever way you slice it or spell it, it's the reality beyond. Beyond the world you know. Beyond your perception. Just so we're clear, I'm absolutely not talking about death. That's a whole other can of worms. Speaking of which, you know how people say when you cut a worm in half, both parts keep on living? Well, they do. Kind of, for a bit. But then one of them dies, not sure if it's the arse or the head. Well, that's the problem with worms. They're a bit short on distinguishing features. What was the point I was making?
The heroes found gravestones of their past selves. They shot Richtofen's grave, then Tank's grave, then Takeo's grave, and then Nikolai's grave. They ignited with life energy. Then the heroes built a summoning altar that allowed them to summon the Keeper Protector, who protected them from enemies. At one point they took the Keeper Protector to a glowing blue jump pad with a pointy rock, and the Keeper Protector performed a ritual on it, which procured the first film roll from New Realm Kinodertoten. Meanwhile, they acquired Lil Arnie's and killed many enemies with them. They threw Lil Arnie's into the church and they became stronger and upgraded. They threw Lil Arnie's into 9 orifices within the APOTHICON's insides, which caused several Margwas to attack them. They found the second film roll inside the APOTHICON.
In the beginning, and believe me, there was a beginning, everything was in its proper place. Time was linear, just as it should be. But a little thing called Element 115 changed all that. Especially when, what was it again? Yes, when Group 935 came along. Once they started messing around with it, they buggered everything up. 115 shouldn't even exist in your dimension. But nonetheless, here we are. Bloody teleporters.
You do realize that he's manipulated you? That's what he does. Dr. Monty is just one of the many names he's been known by. The Great Dragon, the Beast. Is this ringing any bells? Beelzebub, Lucifer, Satan, the Devil.
Once Element 115 came along, the APOTHICONs weren't far behind. Have I mentioned them yet? The APOTHICONs are beings that feed on energy. Wait, that's an oversimplification. Energy is a rather broad term. I mean, it may be better to explain it as the spark of life, the purest form of energy that ever existed. Is that better? I'm not sure. Sounded a bit hippity-dippity new agey when I said it out loud. Anyway, this energy, the APOTHICONs, feed on it. They conquer and consume dimensions. It's kind of their thing. The ball-crushingly bad news is that their appetite is ferocious, voracious, insatiable even. They're hungry. Very hungry. Bottom line, if you don't sort shit out, they're going to gobble up this universe, just like they gobbled up so many others.
The heroes also acquired the APOTHICON servant, which identified itself as Stula Istolf. They shot floating orbs in the sky with the APOTHICON servant, which upgraded the Pack-a-Punch with the blue aura. They put the APOTHICON servant in it, which upgraded, which now identified itself as Istum Oth. They then found many rocks among the debris that held bones within them, and they shot each one with a Pack-a-Punch weapon followed by the APOTHICON servant. The vortices of the APOTHICON servant portaled the bones into Nashdarentoten.
Now here's the thing. I knew a bloke, and I'm talking way, way, way back. He was the sweetest, most charming individual you could ever wish to meet. He was funny too. We used to have such a good old laugh together. Honestly, my sides hurt thinking about it. He was my friend. He was my best friend. And then the APOTHICONs got hold of him. Since then, he's pretty much acted as their agent, zipping around the galaxy. Wait, I keep changing it, don't I? Which do you prefer, universe, multiverse, omni-fucking-verse? Oh, it doesn't really fucking matter, does it? Yeah, let's get on with it. Short version is, he's no longer sweet, charming, or funny. He's what brought them here, when he escaped the key.
He's not even a real doctor. I would know. I know what you did, Richtofen. I know you found the Chronorium. You have suffered long enough. Why do you not embrace the cool warmth of the APOTHICONs? All your pain, all your suffering could be at an end. That is what you want, isn't it?
The Keepers, an ancient order who had been granted the wisdom to see beyond the limitations of their own realm. Even while the rest of mankind scrabbled around in the dirt, drinking their own piss, the Keepers took the mantle of benevolent watchers. Like the seers and sages of the old world, they could foresee how the actions of the APOTHICONs would lead to the destruction of life itself. The Keepers have always been here. Much like your good selves, they too were scattered and fragmented across the multiverse. They may have acted erratically, but know this. Their actions were only ever concerned with the preservation of life itself. Remember what I said before about energy.
The hero shot the skeleton with the APOTHICON servant once more, and they were replaced with the zombified body of Sophia. They found a third film roll, and the messages led Sophia to find the Battle of Revelations, but she was out of phase with this mess of a reality. They redirected each of the corruption engines until they focused on her, bringing Sophia into the battle. She floated towards the top of the teleporter in Kinodertoten. The heroes enter it, and Sophia activated it. They appeared in Samantha's room, and they picked up the Chronorium. Upon returning, they placed the Chronorium on the podium in Kinodertoten, and energy emanated from it.
The minute you people teleported for the first time, you changed the rules. How am I supposed to keep track if you keep moving the pieces? Even when you were just a little problem, brewing in the far corner of existence, I tried to throw you a bone or two. I told you this, didn't I? The magic box of weapons, the little clues here and there. I always tried to give you a little help. without drawing too much attention to myself. The thing is, though, I can't just magic things out of thin air. I have to manipulate things that already exist in your reality. Like the perk drinks. They were something originally cooked up by Group 935. I just used them for my own ends. I honestly don't even know how they work. I swear. As for the songs, don't get me started.
Do you not see the power Dr. Monty holds over you? Do you not see you are being deceived? I can help you. Only through me can you find salvation.
I know the Shadow Man's probably talking to you. Don't trust him. He's evil. I wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. I bet he's saying all sorts of terrible things, spreading all kinds of rumors about me. By the way, I spell rumors with a U, after the O before the R. That's a nice little Easter egg. In fact, it's everything.
The heroes collected 4 APOTHICON eggs from amongst the debris, and they placed them inside the APOTHICON. They killed many enemies whose souls accelerated the hatching of the eggs, which hatched into gateworms. They searched for the energy that emanated from the chronorium around the debris, and they used the gateworms to process the energy into ancient runes. They collected all 4 runes and brought them to the projector room in Kinderdertoten. They were teleported to an arena amongst the debris, and they placed the chronorium on the pedestal. The summoning key floated above the arena, exuding a dark energy due to the Shadowman's influence. The chronorium opened to reveal which runes needed to be activated in which order, and they did what it said.
It's too much information sometimes, know what I mean? I know you must be struggling to take it all in, but can you imagine how I feel? I've got heartfelt prayers for the angels, dying people's wish lists and letters to fucking Santa coming out of my bleeding ears. And it's hard to keep up, honestly. I hardly ever get any time for myself, or even just time to stand back and appreciate all the good that I've done. And now, I've got the bloody Shadowman and the APOTHICON throwing an intergalactic spanner in the works.
You know you really should give up. Let yourself give in. Your spirit will be absorbed into the beautiful blue light of the APOTHICON sun. You know you died a long time ago, don't you? You saw it. Didn't you realize? Are you really so foolish as to believe his lies? You do know that Richtofen is a friend of mine. I say friend, but really he's so much more than that. At one point, I almost considered him my apprentice. I mean, he did stab my reporter friend and steal the summoning key. But at one point he did everything I told him to. I keep hoping he'll remember the promise he made to me so long ago.
Here's something I just noticed. All of you died pretty much as you lived. Dempsey bravely followed orders. Takeo accepted his fate with honor. Nikolai battled with his own demons. It's funny, isn't it? Richtofen's the only one that really didn't see it coming. I'm quite pleased with that.
The first stage of the final battle began in searing heat and fire as many enemies attacked the heroes. The second stage began in darkness with purple auras as they fought off enemies again. The third stage began in blue auras as they fought off enemies once again. The fourth stage began with anti-gravity as they fought off enemies once more. The fight concluded, and the summoning key harmlessly fell to them. The heroes then set out to throw the summoning key at objects that had personal significance to each of the children, including a stuffed bunny, stuffed elephant, stuffed bear, stuffed monkey, and toy rocket. After doing so, the heroes teleported back to the arena to fight the Shadowman.
I made an app once. At least I think that's what you call it. It started off really simple. All people did was press a button to indicate whether or not they'd had a good day. I tracked the data for everyone in the world. I mean, it was meant to help me understand people. It worked. But even in its simplest form, it was too much to take in. It actually made me depressed. It's hard trying to please everyone. Oh, I'm getting worked up, honestly. You have no idea how hard it's been from my side. Sorry. Keep up the good work. I'm sure you'll sort it out.
You simple-minded fools! Do you really believe you have a chance? This universe belongs to the APOTHICONs! You will be consumed! I offered you the chance to enter the beautiful blue light, and you denied my mercy! You have followed a path marked by lies and deceit. Many others have failed. Why would you be any different? This has always only ended one way. I have foreseen it.
If I'm honest, I'm a bit scared. Seriously. Brown trousers time. I mean, I know it's the same old story. The forces of good and evil battling it out. Yeah, but no one ever tells you how much hard work it fucking is. You know, I'm not all powerful. It's always been a struggle to stay on top of it. Now more than ever. If it had been entirely up to me, it would have been a lot more straightforward, I tell you. Do what you can, eh?
In the final fight against the Shadowman, the heroes charged torches by killing enemies nearby while the summoning key was in them. After the torches were charged, they threw the charged summoning key at Sophia, who shot a laser at the Shadowman, disarming his shield. The heroes, all together, began shooting the Shadowman, backing him up into the mouth of an APOTHICON. They then activated the Chronorium, which activated a laser that annihilated him, finally killing the Shadowman once and for all. The heroes, the summoning key, and Sophia went to Samantha's room, and the toys managed to coax Max's soul out of the summoning key. Sophia merged with it, and he and she became one. Together, they decided to make the ultimate sacrifice.
Sophia.
Maxis.
You know what we must do, my dear.
Yes, my love.
We will do it together. As one we are. Now and forever.
With the evil vanquished, I can start making it all nice again. No undead, no APOTHICONs, no Shadow Man. All of it gone. Forever. But here's the funny thing. You snowflakes shouldn't even still be here. You should be fading out of existence by now. Those blood vials.
I was wondering when you'd bring this up.
They're from realities we've already closed off. They shouldn't be here. They can't be here. Such a paradox means you're putting my perfect world at risk. You guys and your bloody free will. What to do? What to do? Well, you certainly can't stay here.
You could send us somewhere else. Somewhere we've never been.
I suppose I could make a little corner somewhere in history. A place where I can dump some of the other shit that I've left over. Or I just wipe you from existence. Ooh, hang on. Actually, That all works out perfectly.
The end. Epilogue.
Maxis and Sophia shot themselves into the APOTHICON sun, and using the power they accumulated in the summoning key, they collapsed the APOTHICON sun, nullifying the power of the remaining APOTHICONs and wiping them from existence. Monty set about putting the pieces of his perfect world back together. The heroes were supposed to disappear, but the instability of the blood vials they carried allowed them to continue to exist. Monty was angry, but Richtofen suggested to just send them somewhere so they could still live. Monty realized doing so would complete a loop in time, and he sent the heroes back in time to the 12th century, where they lived the rest of their lives as the legendary Primus. There might have been and might be other realms, timelines, or universes where zombies or evils existed, such as aliens, cyborg zombies, exo-zombies, spaceland zombies, and some that can only currently be imagined. But the 63rd universe was now free of the zombie menace. Life continued in the perfect world, and Monty raised the children, who would be amongst the first people to grow old in this peaceful universe. The journey had been long, and many, many people died. However, the children lived on in a world untainted by evil, and through them, hope lived on as well. Tank Dempsey, Nikolai Bolinsky, Takeo Masaki, Edward Richtofen, and Samantha Maxis, the innocent children, were happy. Samantha, however, sometimes thought about the summoning key that was still out there, floating in the ether.